distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Victor Umeh. I represent the people of Anambra Central Senatorial District. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, this motion is a very important motion, but the motion is attempting to address abuse in the withdrawal of local government funds by suggesting that a limit of 500,000 naira daily should be allowed. Otherwise, other payments should be done by either through electronic means or using checks that are signed by the appropriate officials. Mr. President, the problem of local government system is much more serious than this. From what Senator Jang said and Senator Adamu said, they were former governors and they were able to free themselves from the abuse of local government funds by governors in Nigeria. But the truth is that the country had the first local government elections in this dispensation, democratic dispensation, on 5th of December 1998. Local government elections on 5th of December 1998 was conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission for the whole country. And the chairman and councillors that were elected on that date had 3 years tenure, which they operated. And their monies were going to them, to the accounts of the local governments from federation accounts. And these monies were not as huge as what we see today. Some local governments were getting 20 million naira monthly. They pay salaries, pay other bills, and they were able to execute a number of projects. Today, huge monies go to local governments, to joint accounts of the state local government joint accounts. From there, the control over the money is taken over by the governors of the states. Whatever goes to local governments are under direct control of the chief executive officers of the states. The councils cannot initiate projects by themselves and execute them, so that you can see projects everywhere done by local government as it used to be. At this time, Mr. President, approving this motion limiting the withdrawal of 500,000 naira cash, I know it's trying to deal with the current abuse where it happens everywhere where they don't have an appropriate local government system democratically elected. We hear about people going to sign checks in the banks, officers of local governments, and they go away. They won't know who takes the money. They keep saying it, we keep hearing it. So I think that the Senate will do much more, and indeed the National Assembly, in finding ways of liberating the local government system. Unfortunately, when attempts was made to establish local government autonomy, most governments, state houses of assembly, could not support the move because they were under the firm control of their governors. They rejected local government autonomy. But the Senate and the National Assembly must find a way of ensuring that this third tier of government, the local government system, will be empowered to carry out development at the grassroots without recourse to the chief executives in their states. In fact, today, local governments are dissolved and are being run with caretaker committees all over the country, majority of the states in the country. And if you allow this thing to persist, it will amount to playing ostrich to the real problems facing the local government system. some dissolutions of democratically elected governments had traveled up to the Supreme Court and obtained judgments declaring their dissolution as illegal and unconstitutional. But today, it is still happening. Even when we complain that those who actually try to do local government elections don't conduct any local government election, but it's still better than not doing it at all. So that the parliament should find a way of strengthening the adherence to the constitution in the running of the local governments in Nigeria. If we don't do that, it will continue to go on. Because you do this, tomorrow you are sacked. When the councils survive on appointment, who heads the council? Who becomes a caretaker committee member? The local government system is already annexed to the office of the chief executive of the states. So this thing cannot happen without restraint. We must find a way of doing that so that third tier of government, the local government system, that will address the grassroots needs of the people. The governor can do big projects, even in conjunction with collaboration with the local governments, in trying to put funds together for projects that will be executed in the various local governments. Because if their monies go to them, and the governor wants to do a big project, maybe a road project in a particular local government, they can task the local government to contribute certain sum of money to that project cost. You know, and if you do that, the local governments will be in a better position to render grassroots services to this country. Even security. Yes, the governors are chief security officers in their states. But if you look at what is happening in Nigeria, you can see that the governors do not take up that responsibility anymore. They will tell you they don't control the security agencies. But there are governors that do everything to ensure that they provide security to the people of their states. My state, for example, we know that yesterday the IT...
Distinguished, you could please.
I'm saying that what I would rather support is the third prayer in this motion that spoke about strengthening democracy in the local governments. This is what will help this problem. While the parliament thinks about what to do to amend the constitution and give more powers to the local government. And there's no way we can shy away from making it a provision in the constitution that any local government system that is not constitutionally set up through democratically conducted elections should not receive money from federal government, from federal allocation. If we put it in the constitution, this abuse will reduce.
Thank you.